Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And it's two ciders I'm going to try because I've got lots of samples to try and I'm not making much progress. So I thought I'd do two at once today, and they're both from Ross-on-Wye, and they are one I don't remember ever having as a single varietal, ever, Ashton Brown Jersey, one I've had many times as a single varietal, many times. It's very familiar. Dabanet. So one very one of the best known of the sort of bitter traditional cider apples, bittersweets, and Ashton Brown Jersey, which I know very little about, but I think it's going to tell me something of it on the side of the label. So let's read the labels and let's try them. We're going to try them out of this little tiny Gwatkins glass. Gwatkins. There you go. A Gwatkins half pint glass, that is. Right. Was prepping some food before I came, making a Thai stir-fried thing. Chopped up lots of chilies. Thought I'd wash my hands very thoroughly. And then went to the loo. And I can tell you, I did not wash my hands quite as thoroughly as I thought, because I'm in quite a lot of discomfort. I washed my hands very thoroughly because I wouldn't even want the smell of the things I've been chopping up. Garlic, ginger, chilli, to get in my nose while I was doing it. But obviously I didn't chop them up quite as much, because I can tell you, empirically, I am experiencing something which tells me, well, not empirically. Can it be empirical if you're the only person who experiences it? It's subjective rather than objective. Surely more than one person has to experience it for it to be empirical, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm in some discomfort. Is the bottom line. But enough of that. Let's read the Ashton Brown Jersey. I'm going to open this one first, because I was going to say it's lighter. It's 7.2, but I think this one is, what's this one? 8.4. It's a big one. It's a big boy. They're both pretty big, but this is relatively small compared to that. 7.2 is light. Right. So what does it say? It has been 3 years since our single row of 15 Ashton Brown Jersey trees fruited successfully. Frustrated by biennialism and by the rampaging ermine moth, we have been eagerly awaiting the day where we could once again bottle this delightful bittersweet apple. One reason perhaps why I've never had it as a single varietal. An underrated and uncommon variety developed at the Long Ashton Research Station in Somerset, ABJ, is a very low acid, high tannin fruit with leathery and spicy notes. Delicious. And let's read the Dabanet. Dabanet is the favourite apple of many a cider maker, and certainly one of ours. A vibrant bittersweet apple that is bursting with both orange and nectarine fruit flavours, as well as a complex array of tannins. This bottle is a combination of an American oak cask and a Scottish oak cask, which explains the ABV, with the influence from barrel fermentation beautifully expanding and lengthening the flavour. The choice of the discerning cider drinker, a whisky lover, and I happen to know that Albert loves a blast of whisky. Nearly broke my glass, because he told me he did when I was there. And we would taste stuff out of the barrels. In fact, dabbing it out of 5 different barrels with 5 different spirits, and it tasted totally different, all 5 of them. Same apple, same vintage, totally different. Blew me away. Right, Ashton Brown Jersey. So, low acid, lots of tannins. That's what I got from that. Pour it out. Colour, it's quite light in colour actually. Quite light in colour, some which is high tannin. There you go. It's a nice deep gold bordering on amber, I want to say that is. And there's a nice little sparkle. I can smell a bit of funk already. Yeah, a little bit. So the orange label, I think, means it's been in a barrel. And the non-orange label means it hasn't been in a barrel. I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually quite delicate nose. Nice nose, actually. I like that. Little bit of funk, delicate apple, but I think I'm getting stone fruit off this. Maybe a hint of orange, something like that. But it's soft, it's creamy, it's definite funkiness, bit of spice, but I'm getting stone fruit and orange as well, as like a delicate apple. Yeah, I like the nose in this actually. It's a soft nose, I must say. I like it. Let's try it. Alright, it has got bold tannin, solid astringency, some hard tannin leatheriness on the back, but in the middle actually, that flavour I got, that aromatic I got, I think it's following through on the palate. The fruit in the middle is lovely, and there is an orangey, stone fruity character to it in the middle as well. Some people might find the tannin a little challenging, but actually I think There's such a load of fruit. It almost tastes like it's got some residual sugar. I'm sure it hasn't, but it's because it's such nice bold fruit in the middle. Soft, round, low acid. Yeah, I really like that. I think that is good. I mean, the tannins can be... what I'm left with is quite bold, hard tannin on the back. But having said that, if you had it with a bit of food, that would totally offset that. And the fruit's enough to offset it. I mean, it is boldly... Okay, it's boldly tannic. It's got quite high soft tannin, so it's quite astringent. Oh, that's fine. But that leatheriness, that bitterness on the back, might be too much for some people. But if you like a tannic cider, that's good. The fruit in that is fab. It's fab. I really like it. I could, yeah. I'm into that. I'm into that. Let's see how it compares to the Dabinet from a whiskey barrel. Pop. There you go. Nice colour. Very nice colour. Right, so let's hold this glass up so you can have a look at the colour. Again, quite delicate bubbles. Nice. Similar in style, actually. It's gold bordering, just edging into amber, I want to say that. Yeah, not too different in colour, actually. These two look quite similar. Slight haze in both of them. They're bottle conditioned. 5 grams of sugar per litre for the conditioning. Let's smell it. So was it American oak and Scottish oak? Was it 2 barrels or 1 barrel that had both in? This is a bottle combination of an American oak cask and a Scottish oak cask. Okay, so I don't know if it's 2 casks. One's had Scotch in, one's had American, like bourbon in, or it's 1 cask that's had both in, that's been used by, because people in Scotland will buy whiskey barrels from America, bring them over here, put their whiskey in them, so then it's got American and Scotch whiskey. I'm not sure, but either way, it's got some. It's going to have some whiskey character. Je pense. I mean, it does, but actually, not as much as I thought it would. In a good way. Yeah, I think lower in the mix aromatically. I think I get the bourbon, and then the high note is kind of a bit of peatiness, I think. Yeah, you can smell, and just underneath that you do get some nice fruit. Stone fruit again, actually, I want to say. Similar to that one, like orangey stone fruity kind of thing. What did it say? Orange and nectarine. So actually, exactly what I just said. There you go. Yeah. Everything it said on there, really. You get the whiskey, you get the stone fruit, nectarine, whatever, and you get the orange as well. Absolutely. Let's try it. Oh, really orangey. It's really orangey. Almost tangerine into like orange squash, I want to say. And that's a good thing. That's not derogatory. And I mean, you get the whiskey. I'm even getting a slight burn, I think. The hint of a burn at the back from the whiskey, because there'll be residual whiskey in the barrels, which is why it's up to 8.4. You know, there isn't that much sugar in these apples to take it 8.4. So you get that warmth from the whiskey, but on the palate, it's there, but it's delicate, and you get that really nice orange character, I have to say. 8.4, it kind of doesn't feel 8.4, but it kind of does because of that warming element. That suggests to you that there's quite a lot of booze in this. Yeah, it's a sipper, but by gum, that orange character is great. Really like it. Yeah. Well, that was a good tasting. I like both of these. I like both of them. I mean, they both have challenges depending on what your palate is. If you're not really into like sort of whiskey and stuff, you're not going to like this. But if you are going to like this. And the orange character of the cider in the middle is absolutely delicious. It's really good. I'm often not into things that are going into barrels. if it's too heavy-handed. I want to taste the cider. In this I can. And the fruit character in the middle is brill. That is a really good cider. That, if you struggle with hard tannin, this is going to be too much for you. If you don't, again, great fruit in this. Really nice. Not as intense as this, but still well worth getting hold of, I think. These are both really good ciders. I enjoyed them both very much indeed. And now I've got to drink them both. I'm going to be absolutely smashed because one's 8.3, no, one's 8.4, the other's 7.2. Blooming heck. Alright guys, thank you for joining me in my cider shed. I hope you join me again. But until that time, cheers.